Vice Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, respected Secretary DST and Chairperson TDB, Madam Singh, I can see with me today to grace this occasion we have almost entire board of TDB here. So, and Dr. Chris and our Chairperson Investment Committee, Dr. Saurabh Srivastava is also here, and TDB team, DST team, and friends from media. Good afternoon to all of you. Just I want to set the context why we are today. So we will quickly go through a small presentation and then let's see. So as you all know that a path-breaking initiative initiated by Government of India and it was approved by Union Cabinet on 1st July. It is 1 lakh crore R&D, RDI scheme. Thereafter, the DST formed those guidelines and about this scheme, and this scheme was formally launched by Honorable Prime Minister on 3rd November during his stay. Details is already available through the websites, so I can request media friends to kindly have a look at that. So quickly, I just want to say that the funding mechanism under this scheme is twofold. The first, the fund will come to ANRF and they will be the first level custodian of the fund, that is first level fund manager. And thereafter, it will come to second level fund manager from ANRF. And today TDB along with our sister concern BIRAC is already been selected as a second level fund manager. And from the second level fund manager, the fund will be given to eligible technology entity. This is also defined under RDIF investment guidelines. So today we are here to just mark that link between a second level fund manager of TDB and the ETE, that eligible technology entity. So we are going to launch the call so that after just once this is launched, an eligible technology entity can start submitting their application. I will quickly go through about the TDBs and its role played by TDB. We are a statutory body and we have experience of almost 30 years. So fortunately this year happens to be 30th year of the TDB and we are going to celebrate our 30th foundation day on 1st of September 2026. That's very significant. And throughout this year, TDB has supported many path-breaking technologies, some of them deep tech. And our size of tickets ranges from 10 lakhs to even 250 crores. And we have 24/7, we accept proposal and we do not charge anything from the project with proponent who comes to us. So it is all cost borne by us. And we are here for commercialization and we used to do it TRL 6 and 7 onwards. But through RDIF fund, we are going to do it from TRL 4. So we have set up all the processes, we have attuned so that we can fund them. Just glimpses of TDBs over the past, you can see TDB has supported many path-breaking projects. You can see Tata Motors Indica project in their TDB has supported. The first EV vehicle by Reva TDB supported. And recently, during our Honorable Minister's presence, we have launched that Botlab Dynamics. This is the first project which I signed today. They are talk of the town. In fact, in Somnath Mandir also they have performed this drone. So they performed in Prayagraj, a big company now. Dhruva in space technology. The first from rare earth oxide to magnet and to motor. There is a composite project supported by TDB is coming up in Hyderabad. Most probably the first production, indigenous production under indigenous technology will start from the March itself. In past also you can see two of the project, that is hepatitis B vaccine. Way back in 96-97 when Dr. Ella Krishna and Dr. Santa Biotech came in India, wanted to produce this vaccine. That time we used to import as a $25. But there was dearth of financing. TDB has supported their first project and they started manufacturing in India, and the prices came down to $1 from $25. So this is the kind of impact TDB has done. So TDB has that strength through which we can perform, and I can assure the dignity on dais and my media friends that we will be doing good job as far as second level fund manager is concerned. Now, who will come to us? I can see some of the potential ETs, eligible technology entities, we see in and around in Delhi is with me. So as per the guidelines, anybody who are engaged in RDI innovative intensive technology and they are TRL 4 and above, they can come to us. They can be registered under the Company Act 2013 or partnership under India Partnership Act, limited liability partnership also, or a startup as per DPIIT guidelines, they can come. And one unique feature which is there in the implementation guideline is just to build Indian capability. This eligible technology is supposed to be controlled by resident Indian, and they should have registered under Indian laws. Their patent also should be registered under Indian laws, and uses as may be controlled by the Government of India in case of securities, other export control apply. So that's through this funding we have to build the Indian capability as well. So now the salient feature of this RDI funding from the TDB which we are going to do is, as I said, right now till such time from the TDB core funding. By the way, we are not going to close TDB core funding, that will continue for the commercialization, but that will be TRL 6-7 onward. Through RDI fund, we are going to do it from TRL 4 onwards. And evaluation will be strictly as per the commercial merit, scientific, technology and financial merit of the project. And we have already set up an expert committee to evaluate this project, and I am happy that the chairperson of expert committee is today with us, Dr. Saurabh Srivastava sir, and under his guidance we are proceeding, and we have a good mix of industry and investment background personnel in our investment committee. Then the proposal submission will be through this open call. Throughout the year, 24/7, 365 days, we are going to accept the proposal, and we have decided that we will evaluate this in batches. Maybe for 15 days or 10 days, if I get good number, we will start evaluating. And the most important part is, this is already set by a clear direction from DST, that this evaluation has to be completed by 8 weeks and funds to be released by 12 weeks. Normally in TDB, we used to take 6 to 8 months of completing the project. This is the task imposed on us, and we are already fully geared up to do this. We have refined our processes, internal processes approved by the board, and we will, sir, I can assure you that we will meet these guidelines. We will do the project evaluation within 8 weeks. Funding as per the requirement of the company ETs, it can be convertible debt, it can be loan, it can be equity, or a mix of it as per their requirement. We can be doing the co-investment with other sister AIFs which will be selected, I think process is on. Through them, if they are funding equity, then we can give, and the company needs it, we can give loan as well. So co-investment is also envisaged. The most important is our funding will be low cost and long term. So we are willing to give, in case of loan, it will be around 3 to 4% maximum. And tenure maybe maximum 15 years, maybe 10, 12, 15 years as per their requirement if they are TRL 4 and 5 onwards. Secondly, we have always criticized that in TDB you need so many collaterals and you want this and you want that. This funding, no collaterals, no personal guarantee, no corporate guarantees. So we can be funding it, and maximum funding as per the cabinet decision is 50%. And the sunrise sector, we have a list already uploaded in RDI website. Once this call is launched through, then any company who is qualifying on this criteria, they can immediately come and start submitting the projects to us, and we will be evaluating, and our target is to disburse at least some funding before 31st March. And with this, I can close my presentation, and I want to जो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना अपने दिल की बात, तो थोड़ी दो लाइन तो बोलनी पड़ेगी। माननीय मंत्री महोदय के मार्गदर्शन और सेक्रेटरी साहब के डायरेक्शंस में आपने जो हमारे ऊपर ट्रस्ट किया है, हमारे मतलब पूरे टीटीबी फैमिलीज आज यहाँ है, आपने ट्रस्ट किया है हमें। वैसे हमने मांगा तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा धनराशि था, बट जो भी धनराशि आपने एलोकेट किया है और आपने एक टाइमलाइन सेट की है, हमें समय सीमा दी है, उस समय सीमा पे आप कह रहे हैं कि आप इतना इन्वेस्ट करो, मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूँ कि मान लो हम लोग फुल्ली गियर्ड अप हैं। और उससे पहले आपको ये पूरी कमिटमेंट हम जो भी आपने धनराशि एलोकेट किया है, होपफुली जो हमने इंटरनली अपने टारगेट सेट की है कि जब हम अपने 30वां वर्षगांठ मना रहे हों 1 सितंबर, उसके पहले हम इस पूरे धनराशि को आपको कमिट कर दें और फिर आपके पास आए हम दोबारा धनराशि के लिए। विद दिस आई वांट टू थैंक ऑल ऑफ यू एंड जय हिंद, जय विज्ञान, जय अनुसंधान। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Professor Abhay Karandikar, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, all the distinguished audience, Secretary of Technology Development Board, Mr. Rajesh Pathak, TDB board members, other eminent professionals, including Investment Committee Chairman Dr. Saurabh Srivastava, Dr. Chris Gopalakrishnan. This is a historic occasion in the sense that all of you know that the RBI fund was launched formally by the Honorable Prime Minister on 3rd November. Since then, we had initiated the process of identifying the second level fund managers. The call for inviting applications from second level fund managers was put on the website. The last date was 31st January. And I must say here that we have received an overwhelming response from the investment community, and which is very, very heartening. So this also shows that with this funding, there is sufficient interest for crowding in the private capital as well. As you know that in the Union Cabinet, it was also mentioned that apart from a transparent, open process of inviting the second level fund managers, we can also appoint, the Technology Development Board and the BIRAC by nomination basis, and that process was completed, and that's how the Technology Development Board has been chosen as the second level fund managers along with the BIRAC of the DPT. While we are still doing the process of selecting the other fund managers, which are the either the fund of funds or the alternate investment funds or other focused research organizations, it is also heartening to see that TDB has already initiated now the process of inviting the proposals from the startups and corporates for making that investment. And as the Secretary TDB in his presentation has elaborated all the salient features of the RDI funds, and also the TDB's process that has been outlined. As you know that in this budget, the 20,000 crore has been allocated under the RDI fund. So, and hopefully, the last year also, of course, this was budgeted. We were, in the process of identifying the second level fund managers, we could not, use the entire 20,000 crore that time. But now that, this process of appointing the second level fund managers will get completed in the next 3 to 4 months, I'm hoping that, we will be able to use this budgetary amount in the current financial year. Once again, thank you very much for coming here today. This call, as Mr. Rajesh Pathak also mentioned, is like a rolling call. applications are invited, at all the times. And of course, processing will be done in batches by a professional investment committee, which was also mandated in the cabinet approval that the evaluation of the proposals will be done by a professional investment committee comprising of technical and investment professionals, and this is how we have mandated on TDB and BIRAC also, and also that will be mandated on the other fund managers. So I would like to congratulate the TDB for fast tracking it, and I hope they will be able to select at least few startups, by before 31st March. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now we shall have the formal launch of the first TDB call under the RDI fund by Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh along with other leaders. Thank you. And now I request Honorable Minister sir to make his keynote address.
So it's easier for me to understand. आप इधर आ जाइए, इस साइड मैम, इस साइड।
हाथ नीचे,
Sir, your remarks.
No, I think much has been said. So at the outset, I just wish to congratulate the GDP and the entire team. Not being repetitive, I think for the media benefiting other things. I think one important feature to note is that this is one of the first of its kind of initiative by any government. We have heard of governments asking philanthropists or the CSR investors to raise funds, but we have not heard of government funding the private sector. And there's a very noble thought behind that, because to an extent, sometimes, to be fair to the private sector, I think they have also been taken by surprise, because they never thought that we'd open up the nuclear sector also one day and the space sector. So some of those sectors which most of us had reconciled would always confine to the public sector, as the convention had been for the last 6-7 decades. And for that, I must appreciate and thank Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, because of his out-of-box thinking. It was possible to break some of these taboos of the past. Now, as far as this is concerned, it has already been told to you, this is 1 lakh crore fund. And the merit of this is, the advantage of this is that it's very low interest, just about 2% or even flexible. It's going to be long term, it's also going to cover, give you a provision of equity covering the risk. So all that put together, I think this is the kind of easiest possible funding or loaning happening. Now, this the first call launch, as was being mentioned by Professor Abhay, I think again it's a hard thing, as he was saying, 191 proposals you have received. And what I was keen to know, and I asked him, out of 191, how many are from purely private parties, because you have certain government entities also who are in this business. And it was so gladdening and gratifying to find that just about 25 were in one way or the other related to the government sector, PSU or otherwise a bank. So that means almost 150 or more than, so almost 160 from the private. So that means huge amount of interest and response from the private sector to this initiative of the government. Now it's the responsibility, because here on is the responsibility to carry forward the spirit with which this has been launched. Sometimes whenever some new loan provision comes from the government side, the immediate mindset as it has been conditioned over the last 6-7 decades is how to grab the government money. So we have to make sure that it is being funded or being utilized for the purpose and the spirit that is being envisaged. The spirit is, as Mr. Pathak very nicely explained to you, you have to have T4 level. And that doesn't mean because some of the youngsters come and say, what about the beginners or what are the starters? But they have a huge ecosystem. So this also is a part of a larger ecosystem. And even within TDP, you have some other components of the ecosystem. As you were saying, the core funding is there, other things are there. But after you have matured to a certain level, then you take off so that then you can be on your own and you can have a healthy partnership amongst all of us. So that is the purpose that we have to explain to them. And of course, the department is ready to do the whole hand-holding also, and we have the ANRF also as a part of this. And now, I think our next test would be, as Professor Abhay was saying, that by March we have a couple of startups. The nature of startups, the kind of themes that they have picked up, that too also I hope we will be quite thoughtful to make sure that they are more of the futuristic and also relevant to the kind of overall roadmap that India has envisaged even through this budget for the next 25 years. So all that kept in mind so that we maintain the sanctity of the intention with which this is being launched. And पाठक साहब ने दिल की बात कही कि मैं जल्दी खर्च करूँगा ताकि और पैसा मिले. I hope उससे ज़्यादा इस बात पर भी तवज्जो दी जाएगी कि पैसा सही जगह जाए. And also, I think it would also require a certain amount of counseling by on your behalf to others, because many might have come with some other mindset. So sometimes the volume of responses for reasons which are not always very appreciable. So we would, because this is going to be a new experience, just as for us, even for the other part. So I'm sure we have taken off. The other is BIRAC, which has also been authorized, and they are also going to launch this call. Because already 31st has concluded for them as well. So we are making a new beginning, and we also expect the support of the media, because you are going to be our greatest messengers also to educate the stakeholders what is this all about, because I think you are the best messengers for us. So having said that, thank you very much.
Do we have any questions?
One.
280.
Sir, you have audible minister.
Yeah, number.
For this TDP. Now my question goes on, the people who are in the manufacturing side, which part of their, is the production side,
You
is
have
the
a
land
question, you can
side,
pick up.
is the, raw material, for what is the main objective of the fund to give to the manufacturer, in which circumstance, whether it is for land, for raw material, for production, for machinery, which are the areas which are you focus?
I think that's a very generalized query, because as we mentioned, you are going to follow the, broadly speaking, criteria of T4. So depending on the individual given project or proposal, what qualifies to be T4 would qualify for being funded depending on the not necessarily that if you are purchasing cement, you get it. If you are not purchasing iron, you don't steel, you don't get it. So I think that will be difficult to specify at this point. Or you want to add?
I think there are some sunrise sectors which have been identified, like energy, biotechnology.
For that, we were saying what strictly for raw material, for that I don't think we can say.
No. I think it is for the proposal you give for the cutting edge R&D in these sectors. And for that, manpower cost, equipment cost, that you can submit it as a part of the proposal.
25, please.
So good afternoon, this is Sanjay Agarwal. Sir, my question, one is to Mr. Pathak. When you talk about TRL4, so we wanted to understand what is TRL4.
In fact, Professor Kalnikar sir will more authenticity on this. But anyway, in PSA office has come out with a assessment of TRL level. It is already available in the PSA website. Anyone can do a self-assessment. And I'm just now. So as a TRL level is from 0 to 9. So normally a TRL 0 to 4, if you say it is a concept in mind, then it comes to some proposal, you do initial research, etc., etc. If you are TRL 4 level, probably you have already reached to a level where you are now going to do a prototypes and all. So at least little advanced level. So TRL 4 below there are ANRF other schemes is there. But this scheme we are going to take TRL 4 onwards till TRL 9 means you have already commercialized this product is in market. So it is from mine to market 0 to 9 is the whole TRL concept, and PSA office has come out with a framework where anyone can just go fill out all those information and assess at what TRL level are they at present. So it's there.
And so,
243.
TRLS टेक्नोलॉजी रेडनेस लेवल
मंत्री जी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे किसी ने लोन लेना है आपसे, फंडिंग लेनी है, तो उसको कुछ गारंटी भी देनी पड़ेगी आपको, और जैसे कोई गारंटी, और दूसरे ऐसा उसी के साथ एक और सवाल है कि जैसे आजकल हम दवाइयों के क्षेत्र में वर्ल्ड में नंबर 1 है, तो उन लोगों में जैसे रिसर्च वगैरह कैंसर में कहीं और किडनी वगैरह में कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें भी आप उसकी लेबोरेटरी के लिए, उसके लिए R&D के लिए लोन देंगे, और उसके लिए उसको बैंक गारंटी कुछ ऐसा प्रोवाइड करेंगे, मॉर्गेज अपनी?
नहीं, कोई गारंटी, पर्सनल गारंटी, कॉर्पोरेट गारंटी जरूरत नहीं है। ये कंप्लीटली अनसिक्योर्ड लोन रहेगा, लेकिन क्राइटेरिया ये रहेगा कि प्रोजेक्ट एकदम कटिंग एज R&D का होना चाहिए। रूटीन R&D वाले प्रोजेक्ट या रूटीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए ये फंडिंग नहीं है।
214.
What is the experience of the government so far in respect of RDI fund?
No, the experience has just started.
Any more questions? Okay, 86, 66.
you're not from Nisper, no? You're not from
First
Nisper.
of all, congratulations for getting the call.
साइंस एंड
I have a couple of
टेक्नोलॉजी
questions, one for Professor
What's your
Abhay
name?
and one for Dr. Singh.
I am Dr.
For
Nisha
Professor
Krishna
Abhay, I actually want to
Vidiyata.
understand,
I am
when
heading
you talk
state
about
program.
hand-holding, what sort of hand-holding will be provided to the people who
You were
propose
at Nisper, so
a new setup?
ANRF.
Will it be
Nisper
directly by
used to be in their
TDP, or will
executive
you be
committee
looking at
council.
other
Yeah, I've seen
sectors,
you.
for instance, if it's something related to
Nisper
drones,
Foundation
maybe
Day.
getting other private sector to come in,
Even in other
in
committee
providing
when
experience
it
on how
got
to build
merged.
it.
So
And
I
for Dr.
was
Singh, I have a question
involved
on
in the merging.
if you could share some updates on the
In all the
PSLV,
committees I was there.
the failure analysis report that is to be developed. So what is the update on that?
From which media group?
I work for Sunrise
Hand-holding by
Manor.
hand-holding
It's a
means that
newspaper, but that's in
these
aerospace and
startups,
defense.
which are
And I'm
funded, are
working at
working in the
digital.
deep tech
So World
area.
News.
Then the
So
entire
we cover everything.
ecosystem of Ministry of Science and Technology, whether they are DST labs or DBT labs or
Yeah,
CST
YouTube
labs,
also, they have
or
done
any
extra
other
payments into
university
the
where
Dr.
DST,
Sobha.
DBT, they have funded
that started in
sophisticated equipment,
2018.
etc.
IT
We
and
will
science.
enable them to make use of those facilities if they require it. We can connect them with any technical expertise or mentorships if they need it. That's what I think.
I think because they are also in a way part of the larger body which is called ANRF, so which has all these enabling provisions. RDI fund should also be seen as one component of a larger ecosystem. Now, as far as the PSLV is concerned, I think every time this is coming up, I appreciate the kind of interest that the media has after Chandrayaan 3. So it created a lot of romanticism and given us a lot of space in the media to the other science news also. But I have reiterated more than once that, first of all, we don't call it a failure. And overall, if you see statistically, our record of first-time success is much, much better compared to all the other countries who are into the business of space, particularly including the USA. We had some of the gigantic missions like Mangalyaan, Chandrayaan 3, which were first-time success. So, to that extent, in the space jargon, we don't call it a failure. Secondly, the acquisition comes कि पिछली बार भी नहीं संभाला, अभी भी नहीं किया, पिछली बार भी खराब हो गया, अगली बार खराब हो. But the point here, the answer to that is that perhaps what has happened is not the same that happened last time. You know, because and those who are in the business of space will appreciate both these points. Both the first one that I'm saying that we have a much better record. And second also, because it's just like, you know, to simplify it, because we have the non-scientific audience also. Sitting in this room, if the light goes off today and you scold the person in charge, and the fault that is detected is that the tube light went off. And tomorrow again it goes off and you call him, "Bhai, kal bhi samjhaya, aaj bhi nahi hua." But the next day the power cut has happened from the origin. So it's not that. But having said that, we have a failure appraisal mechanism in place. We have a committee in place. We are also after, you know, in order to have more of confidence, we are also subjecting it to third-party appraisals. And much of it has been said in some quarters that we lose credibility, this, that. And since as I said the other day also, we live in an evidence-based era. The evidence is that even this year we have 18 launches scheduled now, 2020. Not a single one has withdrawn. Out of these 18, 6 are private. 6 are private, some of them startups, some of others, who have huge stakes. If they had even iota of loss of confidence, they would have backed out. Next year, 2027, we have 3 big launches by other countries, by Japan, by France, and by US each. Again, they have not got into any second thought. Because, as I said, those who are in the business of space voyages and space expedition, they understand that our reliability is no less than any other country. So I think we should be rest assured. If all goes well, we are able to satisfy